This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Do you like that I waited to start recording as a train was going by?
Real professional. After 15 years.
I wanted to give it that real, authentic New York City feel, eh?
Yeah, we're in New York City. We're a proud New York City podcast.
How else would we have gotten the soft rumbling of a subway in the distance recorded on here? Impossible.
No, we'd have to hire an extremely expensive sound designer.
Or we'd have to set up the show next to a train track, which we know from past experience is very dangerous. If believe it or not, Ripley's Believe It or Not, which is going to come up later in the show, Tim.
Ooh.
Don't worry. Oh, one of their competitors. Anyway, okay. I'm getting too far ahead of myself, Tim.
You are so excited this week.
Yeah, we'll get to why. But how are you doing this week,
Tom? I'm doing great. I'm back on the flossing every day.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say the steroids.
No, I've never. Tom, I'd like to go on steroids. I'd like to the window is rapidly.
The window's rapidly opening for you to get on testosterone.
Well, that's
and
true.
Be a testosterone guy. Yeah, I got low T, so the doc gave me some pills and some gels. That's what you can tell other men your age at a party.
Do you remember the cream and the clear?
The cream and the clear?
Yeah.
That
was the baseball steroids thing from the early 2000s.
Oh, okay. It sounded like a 70s folk rock group.
Cream and the Clear.
Yeah, it's like members of Creedence Clearwater Revival.
And Cream.
And Cream.
Wow.
and the entire band Cream. And then just a couple of guys from CCR in there, too. I didn't know that's what it's called. I didn't know that they used the creams back. Was that steroid cream?
I think that might have just been code words that they were using.
Yeah, the clear and the cream?
Yeah.
I mean, not great code words. I sussed them out right away.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's because we were already talking about steroids.
Yeah, but if I was...
and I defined them as steroids.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if I was in a Major League Baseball dugout and somebody say, hey, buddy, pass me the clear and the cream.
Right, I don't think they were doing it in the dugout.
Yeah, I'm up next. Pass me the...
That's how steroids work.
Yeah.
Give me a shot. I need something in the next 30 seconds.
Give me enough that it will last for 60 seconds at least until I hit a home run.
So yeah, I don't know. Like this is the sad thing, Tom.
If the ump came over and said, "Hey, I heard what you were talking about. What are you talking about? It's 1995. I was asking for a Pepsi Clear and a cream soda."
Right. Tom, you of all people should know it's not called Pepsi Clear.
Crystal Pepsi. Anyway, sorry. Canadian. Clearly Canadian. That's what they were asking for. Remember
Right,
that?
Clearly Canadian. What was that? Just water?
I think it was just like
seltzer?
Seltzer.
Spring water?
No, it was seltzer, but it was flavored. And I
Ahead
think,
of its time.
Yeah, I think it just had like, whatever the
Sparkling water.
Yeah. But I
spring
feel like
water.
It might have had like fake sugar in it. One of those like Sweet and Low or something like that.
Not really.
Anyway, I interrupted. You were talking about getting into steroids.
Yeah, no.
Or testosterone.
You brought up the testosterone.
Well, I'm Tim, as your doctor, I've got to give a second opinion.
I mean, yeah, I think look, we're getting older, Tom, right? We're over the hill, as it were.
Uh-huh.
You just had another birthday, so you're way older than I am right now.
I'm racing down the hill.
And I'm not like having a midlife crisis or anything
Yet.
But the thing that bums me out is like, man, I should have gotten really strong at one point. Because I'm not gonna get really strong now. I
think pretty much every year that we've done this podcast, and then we've done a an end of the year episode, you've said the next year was the year you were gonna get the strongest you've ever been.
But now I'm realizing I should have done that at 21.
Yeah. So now it's not even worth making that Promise.
Well, I can't because I can't. I'm not gonna get the results that I want.
Yeah. I mean, I do see like once in a while, I'll see like a picture of me from like high school or college. And I'll be like, look like relatively ripped. And it's like, oh, I remember that was like the 2 weeks I went to the weight room after school. And that was all that took.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now I could go there 10 hours a day. And it's
mean, to be fair, we don't know. Like, it's not like either of us
yeah,
has been
but
like,
to put all
we
the
try
effort
all
in.
the time. I did just go for 2 weeks and lifted weights for an hour a day.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I would think now, if you were going to get into like lifting weights, I would think like, I mean, you might as well get some of the clear in the cream.
Yeah. All right.
Make
Let's
sure it
do
actually works. All right, let's do it. I've heard
It's
that
not
there's
illegal in like life. right?
No, it's illegal in competition.
Yeah, I'm not going to compete for it. Well, I might want to compete if I get really strong, though.
We'll get clean. We'll pee in bottles now, so then we have clean.
This is why people save
urine.
their piss for so long.
This is one of the reasons why people save their piss for so long, in case they get
Do you
into
think that was
steroids.
Howard Hughes' ultimate plan?
Yeah, he was like, what if I decide to trim my fingernails, cut my hair, get really ripped, I get so good I'm in the Olympics, and then they're like, all right,
MMA
pal.
fighters. Do they care about MMA fighters doing
steroids? I think probably in the same way they care about any professional sport,
Right.
which is they tell you how to do it basically, and leave you alone, leave you be. Yeah, I fell down a rabbit hole once learning about how all that stuff works, about like how much lead time they give you and all, and they will tell you specifically what they're testing for. So as long as you know ahead of time, there's like things you can take that will flush that out of your system. You gotta remember, these guys have like infinite resources.
I have a question for you, Tom. Why bother going down this rabbit hole?
Just in case.
When is that ever going to be useful to you?
Because what if
You want to vaguely bring it up on a podcast a couple of years later?
Well, what if I'm not vaguely bringing it up. I'm strongly bringing it up.
You're bringing it up, but like you don't have the real details. You're like, oh, I learned about.
Well, you don't have to say I have vague information about anything on this podcast, Tim. That's redundant.
built into
Everything I'm talking about, I have a vague idea. Some stuff I don't even have that. But what if I started getting real ripped? And then I decided I want to go in competitions, but I'm not strong enough. I need to get on the cream and the clear, and now I need to like catch up quickly. Oh, there's not enough time. How do I get this out of my system before the test? Oh, I'm out of the Olympics.
Right.
Whereas I've done the research now, so I'm ready for that eventual event if it happens.
Well, it's. I mean. Yeah, I think there's probably I don't want to make it sound probably less than a 50% chance that that's going to happen to you.
Like 49%, 51%. Like it leans a little towards it not happening, but it's still more or less 50-50. Still a coin flip.
Hey, you know what? Anything in life is a coin flip.
Not a roll of the dice.
Touche. I read I think it might have been in Chuck Klosterman's seminal "Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs," or one of the early Klosterman
books,
where there was like a short essay about how like statistics and probability don't exist. Everything is 50-50. Either it's gonna it'll happen one way or it'll happen another way. And like I think he would argue like. No, rolling a 6 on a die is like a 50-50 chance because like it's either going to land on a 6 or it's not going to land on a 6.
I mean,
and I think you'd say like, well, if you
do it enough times.
Yeah, I think he would be like, well, if you did it just one time, those are the two options: a 6 or not a 6.
I think also I wouldn't ask some Gen Xer known for writing about rock bands and pop culture questions for my statistics class.
Yeah. Well, that's why I failed statistics. You know why I almost failed statistics, Tom?
Why is that?
Because it was an 8 a.m. class in college on a Friday.
Wow.
And, like, nobody had class on Friday, let alone an 8 a.m. class.
Yeah, you did.
My life would be so much different if...
Yeah, I'm sure this is the only thing.
Well, this is part of it. If I didn't procrastinate signing up for classes in college.
Right.
Like, there were so many classes that, like, I wanted to take but couldn't, or, like, other classes where, like, were at insane times where it's like, well, I'm never going to go to that class. It's on Friday morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, like, it being a big deal. Like, when classes opened up, you had to be, like, logged in and ready.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'll be chill about it. I'll be a guy that's not going to sweat it. And then, like, it ruined my whole life.
Yeah. Which is, like, fucking ridiculous when you think about it. That the school's like, all right, everybody's paid, right? Okay. All right. This popular class, we're going to let 10 of you take it. And you have to be quick, and it's roll the dice and then everything else until you get to a point where it's like, these are the classes we got. If you don't want to take them, that's fine, but we're going to keep the money that we took still. Ridiculous. Playing the classes out to who signs up.
I think if you didn't enroll in classes, I think the bill came due after the fact, right? You're not prepaying.
You're at least paying, like, the admission fee.
Right. I forget how college works.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to know how college works. You know what? Like, I see all this stuff happening on college campuses, and I'm like, good for everybody. I don't want to think about college anymore. I'm just jealous that I'm not young.
Yeah. Tim, this week, we're talking about... Well, let me start off by telling you that I've been getting really into music lately.
Really?
Yeah.
The cream and the clear?
Of course, you got your Hard Rock Sanders, Cream and the Clear. But today I was listening to Big Black, Steve Albini's old band. Which I had never heard before. I'd never listened before. Songs about effing, the album's called. Can you believe they could put that out?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you might get a visit from Johnny Law a little bit later tonight.
I might get a visit from Tipper Gore.
On you. Tipper Gore.
I was listening to the latest Faith No More album. And then
the latest Faith No More album?
Which was still almost a decade ago, but I had never heard it before. And then, Tim, lately, I've been Gaga over Lipa.
Wow.
Not to be confused with Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I know.
Tim, let me tell you why Dua Lipa is my favorite pop star. Let me give you a few reasons. Reason number one, there's no lore to her. You don't need to know anything about her.
What do you mean? Like, who has lore?
Taylor Swift has lore.
Yeah, but you love Taylor Swift's lore.
Yeah, but I don't like her songs. Ariana Grande's got lore.
Okay. This is... I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I wasn't aware that Dua Lipa didn't have lore.
Yeah.
But, like, too much of pop music now is, like... If you don't know about their personal lives and like, their lore, you know what? You hit the nail on the head here. I was laughing. I was having a good old laugh at Tommy's expense here.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Like, and don't get me started with the rap beefs.
Well, of course. But I was gonna say, like, even Beyonce, like, you had to know what Lemonade was about. To like fully enjoy that album.
Can I say one thing about Beyonce? We all love Beyonce. And Lemonade.
I'm not saying.
Hold on, Lemonade's a really a great album.
Mm-hmm.
But can we agree that like make lemons into lemonade? Come on, you're more creative than that. Like that's the least creative idea that Beyonce ever had.
That sounds like the first pitch of like. I made an album about my husband cheating on me. What should we call it? I'm looking. What's a way to say I'm turning a bad situation into a good one?
But like, look, all I'm saying is like take another pass at it. Yeah. Because like everything else that she's ever done, except for the Jolene cover, has been way more creative. And
yeah. But again, like another artist that like songs she has, you have to kind of know.
I don't think so. I think you know what, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on like if you just want to hear a song at the supermarket or at the Duane Reade or
Right.
at the Walgreens.
Uh-huh.
I don't care about the lore.
Right, but I'm just saying that's one of the things about these people
Right.
that they have all this lore.
Right.
Dua Lipa's got no lore really.
That you know about.
No, Tim, I did my research. I looked into it.
Okay.
She doesn't really have beefs.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why pop music needs to be so confrontational and contentious.
Exactly. And then, like similarly, her songs, very simple, very basic. They aren't about these like, she's not writing a song that's quote unquote secretly to Kim Kardashian about how one day her daughter is going to listen to this song and come in singing it and not know, like, just a lot to follow.
Yeah.
All Dua Lipa's songs are about things like dancing,
I like it.
having fun,
I like having fun.
hot boys, getting your heart broken by a hot boy.
Wow.
And that about,
But not a specific, like,
No,
hot boy that, like, I should be able to read between the lines.
no,
and
there's
understand,
no identifiable
This is
information.
the hot boy that broke her heart, and now I have to cyberbully him.
Right. You listen, doesn't matter.
I need to fire up the old death threat machine.
Yeah, no matter how mad one of Dua Lipa's songs makes you, you'll not be
Peer pressured into
into sending death threats on Instagram to people who are strangers to you.
All right.
And honestly, even her songs about getting her heart broken, a lot of them, they're kind of like, yeah, well, I wasn't that great either. This really wasn't just meant to be. And then,
Wait, there's humility in the...
Tim, there's a song on her new album about like running into an ex and like being so happy about how good he seemed to be doing and wishing him the best.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
She sounds real soft.
That's
Sounds
why,
like a real pushover, this Dua Lipa.
well, that's why I'm worried,
Some
Tim. that
goddamn
she's-
confidence.
She's gonna get ripped apart with all these other pop artists out there making all these specific claims. But let's talk.
Wait, hold on. So
Okay.
the reasons you like her, no lore,
Yeah. Oh, I forgot the biggest
number one.
reason.
Number two is simple songs.
Simple songs. And number three, she has a lot of songs about magicians and magic.
Oh.
Not really, but she's on her latest album. A
If
song
you read
called-
between the lines. Are you like when Swifties are going into her to like her music to be like, oh, who's this song about and what's it? You're just like, ooh, how is this Dua Lipa song about an illusionist?
Yeah. Oh, I should start becoming that way. No, I mean, it's very surface level where she has a song called Houdini,
Oh,
but it's not about Houdini. It's about her disappearing.
from where?
The dance floor, Tim.
Oh. I thought it was some sort of like maybe water tank after she's been put in chains.
She's been buried 6 feet underground. She's in a barrel going over Niagara Falls. No, it's just about how she's like sexy and elusive.
Oh.
And I forget exactly how it goes, but something like, catch me on the floor before I go Houdini.
Mm.
Something like that. Of just like, look, if you see what you like, you got to act fast, pal. Because I might just disappear. And then she has a song called Illusion, which is about, I forget what's the illusion. I don't know, a relationship or something. It doesn't matter. See, that's the thing. I can pretend this is about
I mean, that's the way I consume
Siegfried and
all...
Roy.
most pop songs, most love songs are written about either Siegfried or Roy.
A lot are written about both.
Roy. Yeah, none from the perspective of the Tigers, though.
No.
Let me ask you this. Though.
Okay, those are my reasons.
You don't like lore.
Mm-hmm.
Would Dua Lipa appeal more or less to you if she became romantically involved with David Blaine?
Ooh, actually, probably
'Cause that-
less. David Blaine seems like a scumbag.
I know, but like, you know, but then she gets out of it.
I thought
Like
you were
Fiona Apple doesn't have lore to her, right?
Yeah. But her songs are deep, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine. I like that. I'm not saying I want all my stuff this way.
But nobody's combing through Fiona Apple lyrics being like, what's about David Blaine?
Yeah. She dated David Blaine?
Yeah, you don't remember this?
I don't think I remember this.
What? That's like the coolest thing about David Blaine.
Like, when did that happen?
I don't know, the 90s?
Huh. Yeah, I don't remember. Was she involved in any of his illusions?
No. She's a musician.
All right, I know, but how am I supposed to know they were dating? If he wasn't sawing her in half on stage or something.
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of, Tom, we've talked about this.
All right, maybe we have. But look, I thought you were going to say, would I be more interested in Dua Lipa lore if she got her singing powers through like an accident?
What? Is that a question you would think I would ask you? Me?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't. I mean, like the way Spider-Man got his powers, something like that. Then then maybe I'd be more interested in her lore.
David Blaine and Fiona Apple first met at a Grammy Awards after party in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
What?
He won her attention.
With the magic trick.
Yep, a card trick.
Yeah, I mean that's the way he wins everybody's attention.
Yeah.
It's kind of his go-to thing. Let me tell you some other stuff about Dua Lipa.
How would you know? They attended the MTV Music Awards, the Video Music Awards.
I definitely would have known then. Tim, let me tell you about Dua Lipa. I think she's 28 years old. She was born in London, but her family are from Kosovo.
Okay.
And they, I believe, moved back to Kosovo at one point. Let me see what I have. Oh, yeah. Lipa moved with her family to Pristina after Kosovo declared independence in 2008. There, she attended a school I can't pronounce and learned about the Albanian language and considered a music career. But she already knew Albanian. So her dad was the lead singer and guitarist of the Kosovan rock band Oda. Her father continued to play music at home, including this from her Wikipedia, his own songs, but then David Bowie, Bob Dylan, Radiohead, Sting, The Police, and Stereophonics. And Dua started singing at the age of 5, having all that stuff around her.
Stereophonics, I accidentally bought one of their records.
You just saw it was a stereo record. You thought it was a test record to test out
No,
the
it's
stereo.
like, this is mixed in stereo. I'm in. No, I got it from Columbia House.
Oh, okay.
don't
I'm not
like
real
it.
familiar with Stereophonics.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. I just didn't like.
Stereophonics.
Yeah.
When she auditioned,
I got here's why I got them mixed up with Stereolab, who I was trying to buy.
yeah. She started singing at the age of 5, but when she auditioned to enter the school choir, the teacher told her that she couldn't sing. So she was denied. And did that light a fire in young Dua Lipa's heart.
Wait, what happened?
A choir teacher said she couldn't sing.
Ah.
And she was like, I'll show you. Also, I want to
And then I
point
got a
out.
Stereolab album,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, "Oh, I got them mixed up with Spiritualized." That's who I was trying to. And then like, I finally landed on Spiritualized. I was like, "This is the album."
I was
looking
thinking
for.
of Rusted Root.
Oh no, that's the complete other direction. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I forget what I was going to say about her.
She's motivated by spite, Tom. So that's some lore right there.
That's some lore. Yeah, some mild spite, which, you always like to hear that somebody's being motivated by spite.
Yeah.
So she got so dead set on becoming a musical superstar, Tim,
Right.
that at age 15, she moved alone back to London and shared a flat with a family friend while she had a go at
A flat. What does that mean?
an apartment. You know what a flat is. You've been to England.
Yeah, but I don't participate in their language.
She stayed at an apartment with a family friend.
Their ridiculous slang.
Tim, would you be open to having a family friend's 15-year-old live with you while they try to attain fame and fortune
In the sexy pop star
in the
field?
sexy pop star field?
Probably not.
If things were different and we lived in two different countries and I had a teenage daughter and I called you up and I said, hey, get my teen daughter bugging the hell out of me about becoming a pop star. Can she come live with you in London while she tries that?
Well,
She's 15, so she's, you'll have to be her guardian, but she's pretty much self-sufficient.
I'd be open to it. Like, I assume Dua Lipa is fairly privileged.
Yeah.
If her dad was in a famous, a successful rock band. So, like, their family friends are probably pretty well off.
Yeah, it's probably
too.
like, I got 10 extra rooms.
Yeah, like having a 15-year-old in my apartment.
Yeah,
like,
the maids watch all the kids
yeah,
anyway.
Exactly.
I do want to mention, by the way, that Dua Lipa, that's her real name.
Mm-hmm.
Dua means love in Albanian, apparently.
The main thing that I know about Dua Lipa, or the main reason, like, I heard her name a while ago, and then whenever I hear Psycho Killer, that one part, like, no, the bridge, like,
Dua Lipa.
yeah, not that part. Well, I'll find it.
Okay, well, don't play it because we don't have the rights to play it.
Yeah.
Unless you've secured them on your own.
No, I'm a co-writer of Psycho Killer.
Tim, I want to also mention, because I want you to know about music stuff. Dua Lipa has been described by the media as having a mezzo-soprano or contralto vocal range. But then I looked it up. I'm like, what does that mean? And it says a mezzo-soprano means half soprano, and that their vocal range lies between soprano and contralto voice types.
So
hey, give it to me straight, Doc. What does that mean?
it doesn't matter.
What do you mean doesn't matter?
She got a voice. Like, what do you care what range she sings
sometimes I like hearing certain songs in certain keys, Tim, and I don't like hearing them in other keys. Oh, boy.
What's your favorite key to hear a song?
C. C is my favorite
Wow,
key.
C major?
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah. That gives it that big brassy sound I love. Right, that C is the brassy key.
It's the brassy key. It's well known.
But do you know what other pop stars, what their vocal range? Because hers does seem like pretty high for not crazy high, but
I don't know. Like there's alto,
yeah,
tenor. The three tenors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the pop stars that I like are guys like Pavarotti and
Placido Domingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the other guy.
See,
they tend to be tenors.
Tim, to me, they've had too much lore behind them.
The tenors? The three tenors?
Yeah, I gotta learn. How'd they become the three tenors? How'd they all meet?
What about Andrea Bocelli?
Yeah, what's his that's like a spin-off tenor?
Yeah. He's got lore. He's blind, right?
Right, that's lore, according to you.
Well, I don't know. Are his songs
it's
about
something
that?
to know.
Yeah.
Are his songs about that? I don't think so. I was under the impression he's singing songs that, people wrote a long time ago, all these opera songs.
Yeah, I don't know.
But people
it's
write new opera songs?
It's all Italian to me, my friend.
Yeah. We should start a business. Translated opera songs. Translated.
I think that's done, and I think they have translations.
We'll do it
of
cheaper. We'll do it cheaper. We'll do it for half the price.
Neither of us knows any foreign language.
Neither do they, or else they wouldn't be coming to us.
Who?
The opera people, the people that want to do an opera in America, but they like, oh boy, but our audiences, they're not going to like all this Italian.
You know they have that at the opera, right?
What?
Like a
subtitles underneath the men?
Yeah, screens with subtitles.
Oh, screens.
Sometimes
Okay.
they're built into the seat back.
Wow.
In front of you, and sometimes they're like,
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so you can follow the story.
Huh?
Yeah, like I don't know if there's enough like empty space in that industry for us to get in at this point. There seem to be people who know what they're doing.
I don't know, Tim. I think there might be we can make it an app or something. Better screens, worse screens, whichever one the other guys aren't doing.
You want to make a worse screen?
Yeah, it's cheaper. It's half the price. Hey, enough with the screens. We got an opera going on up there. That's what the screen says. When they break, that's what it says. So then nobody knows that it's broken.
It says we got an opera going on up
Yeah,
there.
hey, enough with the screens. Hey, you're over your screen time limit. Take a look at the opera.
Oh, that's our
Yeah.
end. Everybody's trying to reduce their screen time.
Yeah.
Hey, enjoy the show.
Yeah, our algorithms have decided you look at your screen too much. And then who's going to go and complain about that? Because then they'll have to admit, oh, I guess I do look at my screen. Excuse me, the seat said that I look at my screen. Yeah, well, the seats are never wrong here, pal.
Maybe
It's
you should have a
Opera
less
House.
fucked up life.
Yeah. You know what, Tim? I'm reconsidering your invitation to the opera. Tim, let me tell you about another reason I like Dua Lipa.
All right.
I'm trying to find exactly, because this I was not aware of. But since
Tom, you told me privately a big reason that you like Dua Lipa is that because she's pretty.
she is also very pretty. Yeah. I'll go a step further and say she's very pretty.
Wow.
But I feel like that's table stakes for being a pop star.
It
right?
shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be, but
Nah,
it is.
I guess you want to like be pretty.
Yeah.
We all want to be pretty.
She's also like, I don't know, like, she has this persona, which I'll get to a little bit.
Are you like, oh, she's actually like, I'm a weird guy. I actually think Dua Lipa's pretty.
Actually, I think she really likes me. No, I was going to say.
I think she doesn't know how beautiful she is.
She has
she does.
She has a very, like, sexy persona,
Okay.
but I don't think it's, like, sexual lies. I don't know. It's weird.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I guess I don't. I gotta admit, Tom. I only know one Dua Lipa song.
Yeah. Well, how's it go?
Ba 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 da da ba da 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 da. Yeah.
Why? I don't think that's a Dua Lipa song.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Doesn't sound. I mean, granted, I also don't know that many of her songs.
I mean, it's the big hit. It's on. If you go to the grocery
Is
store
it
right now.
Houdini then? Do 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 do.
No, it's like levitating. Or something.
Oh, shit.
Tom, it's by far her biggest song. You pitched
Is it
this
Illusion?
to me. No.
Oh, is it the Barbie song? Because she did a song in the Barbie soundtrack.
Tom, you pitched this as like
Dance the night away. You know that song? It's from Barbie.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
I don't know what song are you talking about? Illusion?
It's called Levitating, Tom. It's by
Levitating?
far her biggest hit.
When did it come out?
2020.
Oh, okay. I don't know that one. I only know her new stuff.
What?
I only know the new stuff.
You don't know her biggest
No,
song?
I know the songs on the album that came out this week that I like. How does the Levitating song go?
I just sang it.
But I mean, that's also about a magician, you could argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes magicians.
This is very cool.
Just
That's
like
David
us.
Blaine. He does levitating right on the tree, on the
Yeah.
street.
Right? You could do it anywhere. And unless you're like looking at him at the wrong angle. Then
You don't
can't
know the song Levitating, but you wanted to talk for an hour about Dua
do it.
Lipa?
Yeah, Tim, I never said I was an expert. I just said I was a big fan.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar.
Oh, she does that song?
I'm levitating. The Milky Way. We're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that song now. Huh.
I got you.
She has a lot of songs that have parts in them that sound like songs I know already.
Yeah, Tom, this our lack of knowledge might be inspiring Dua Lipa fans to do their first death threats on Dua Lipa's behalf. I think we're going to get some pretty good emails about this one.
She's going to, this is the beginning of the Dua Lipa army.
Yeah.
She's going to put out an Instagram post tomorrow like, army, unfortunately, these two men
that are 14 years older than I am.
Yeah, decided to do an episode about me, and they didn't even know anything.
They said entirely nice things about me.
Yeah. The one guy said he's a big fan, but he didn't know my biggest song. That came out 4 years ago. What was I talking about? Why did I add that?
You want to know how I know that's her?
Oh.
Because it literally is on every time I go to the grocery store. And I think I've Shazammed it like 6 times. I'm like, who is this? What song is this? I like this song.
She has a lot of songs
I'm
I feel like.
Officially a man in my 40s. Oh, I like this song. What is this?
She has a lot of songs.
A pop song from 4 years ago. Yeah, I think I'll put this on heavy rotation now.
She has a lot of songs that have things that sound like other songs in them. Houdini has a synth line that sounds a lot like It's My Life, the Talk / No Doubt song, like bing bing bing. It has a very similar like that.
Is it a sample?
No. And I don't think it's exactly the same, but it's like, I don't know, this like second melody kind of underneath. Like it's not really
what that's called.
What?
Counter melody.
The counter melody. It's not driving the song.
Right.
A lot of times the vocal melody is kind of driving the song, which I like. It like it's very like all over the place. You don't know where she's gonna go next.
Wow.
And then
you know what that's called?
What?
Misdirection.
Which?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, that's not actually a musical term. It's.
She also has, what song is it? It's Training Season has a song that has a part that sounds like, Let's Hear It for My Boys.
Let's hear it for the boys.
The boys. Who is that? The Pointer Sisters?
No. Maybe he's no Romeo.
She has like a part in Training Season that kind of has that same like vocal cadence, and I like that. Of course, I like that. I like Let's Hear It for the Boys.
Denise Williams.
Okay.
I mean, all of that, I'm sure. Both of those things.
What was the Pointer Sisters like big 80s hit?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I just remember like both those songs around the same time as a kid being like, these songs rule.
Maybe he's no Romeo, but he's my loving one-man show.
Yeah. Which is like, sounds like he is a Romeo then. I mean, how do you define a Romeo if not a loving one-man show?
I don't know what a loving one-man show is.
I think that's sex, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe she's like a big like Mike Birbiglia fan.
Right, yeah. And he's like, this guy's no Romeo, but like his one-man show.
Yeah, pretty solid.
I mean, a lot of it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I laughed. I cried.
Let's hear it for the boys.
The boy. It's just the boy.
The boy. Let's hear it for the boy.
It's a one-man show, Tom. One boy show.
You know what? I'm getting confused with The Boys Are Back in Town.
A song that's nothing like it.
No, but imagine if somebody did one of those mashups with those two songs. Yeah.
Hey, somebody better call 2002 and
yeah.
Tell them to get right on
it.
it.
What was that guy that did all the mashups? Mashley?
Girl Talk?
Girl Talk.
Mashley?
Yeah. That would have been a good name for a mashup artist.
Mashley Olsen.
Yeah. Mary Kate and Mashley Olsen.
Right.
And I do. It's just one song. It's Let's Hear for the Boys.
Mixed with
Mixed
The
with
Boys Are Back in Town.
But maybe a little I'm So Excited as the song starts.
Yeah.
And it's talking about the audience.
What about you bring the 90s into it? You got the 70s, the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
What do you throw in The Boy Is Mine?
The Boy Is Mine. Yeah, it can kind of slow things down for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boy, people won't know whether this boy is coming or going by the time they're done listening to this song. Yeah, so that's what I like about her songs, that she's got parts that sound like other songs.
Parts that she cynically rips off from other successful pop songs.
I don't know if they're ripped off, because I feel like nowadays you get just like instantly threatened.
I mean, check the writing credits.
Yeah.
See what they got. See what they got.
I didn't. Yeah, those people might have writing credits on these songs. I want to talk about her music for a minute. Her music is primarily pop and has been described as disco, house, and R&B. Stylistically,
you always do this with musical artists too, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You choose a random album to get into, and you're like, I'm a big fan of this band, and you only know, and it's never the seminal album of theirs.
No.
It's always just one that I don't know. In the past, it'd be
sorry.
I got it used at the record store.
Yeah, and I lost my other CDs. This is the only one I have in my car now.
And now I'm really into I remember you got really into Killing Joke.
Yeah,
but you got into an album that came out 20 years after they were relevant at all.
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, this band's really great.
Same thing with that band Cave In. I got into their major label release that their fans hated, but and
see, I you know what? I guess I'm a rube like that too. You know, when Good News for People Who Like Bad News, that Modest Mouse album came out, everybody's like, ugh. Look, they went mainstream, and I was like, finally, this band is listenable.
Oh, it's accessible. I love it. I mean, but Dua Lipa, I assume her other music is pretty accessible.
I know.
If anything, I would assume this is, her most complex music to date.
Have you been reading reviews?
No, but I've been harassing reviewers online that don't give her 10 out of 10. Stylistically, her music's described as dance.
Also, yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't think anybody would think of Dua Lipa as necessarily an album artist well, that you're gonna listen to front to back.
So what's interesting
the fact
is
that you're not listening to the best Dua Lipa hits playlist is confounding to me.
Well, so interestingly, and again, put this in the column of why Dua Lipa's great is I don't know. I read I think one answer to an interview from her where it was just I don't know, it was pulled out on some stereo gum or something like that from a bigger interview. But she talked about that nowadays it's all singles, and that she really wanted to make an album. She really thinks the album is the art form of
maybe I'm warming up till Dua.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I listened to this album and I only skipped, I don't know, 5 songs. No, I liked a lot of the songs on it.
Does it have an arc to it as an album?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, lyrically, I haven't paid that much attention.
Yeah, but
to it. But yeah,
vibe-wise, it doesn't feel like a mishmash of just
no, and it definitely the songs. I mean, they're not mixed into one another, but they go into one another in a deliberate way, in a very. You can tell that this is planned. Right. It's not just a shuffle. She can just put it on shuffle and go, oh, there's the list. So yeah, she's into albums too. So put that on the list. She okay. So these are the styles: dance pop, synth pop, R&B, dream pop, alternative pop, and new disco. Also, described as dark pop.
Sounds like pop to me.
She is noted for singing in a distinct husky low register and sultry tone.
Where are you getting this information from?
Wikipedia.
Okay.
But I don't know where that particular line was cut from. But I like synth pop. I don't even know what these genres are. I mean, I know what synth pop is, I guess. But like dream pop and new disco, like new metal with a U and new disco. Those all sound like if I saw those genres on a jukebox. That's how jukebox work, right? There's
you pick by
very
genre,
particular genres. I would be like, oh, I'll check that out.
What do we think new disco is? Just kind of like the next step in the like a harder edged disco.
I think it's probably just anything that isn't like trying to sound like 70s, like trying to sound like a recreation of 70s disco, like having disco elements to it, but not sounding like that's I don't know, an intentional throwback, like still sounding modern, but
I'm very
think about
bad.
like new metal. You know, it was like, oh, this is metal. Like to a metal person, they're going to be able to point out, oh no, this and this
like,
is different.
I'm so bad with genres. It's like, hey man, can't we all just like?
Well, but also genres like disco and metal are so encompassing, you know?
Yeah, but like do you know like? I think a lot of the bands that I listen to would be classified as like post rock.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, they still sound like rock to me.
Yeah, like if I read like an article about them, they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, post rock pioneer. It's like, oh,
yeah, post.
well, what does that mean?
Yeah, like post punk kind of makes like.
No, I don't understand that either.
I get it a little bit because it's like, oh, this is like stuff this isn't like punk. This started after punk, but it's influenced by it, but it's a different thing.
But how is it different?
It sounds different, you know. That would be what I would say. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess all these labels are just kind of subjective. She was also credited.
I'm not into labels, Tom.
Good. She was also credited.
I'm a member of the No Labels Party.
Is that true?
Yeah.
How much are their dues?
You know about the No Labels Party?
No.
They're gonna run it's like these billionaires were like, we'll run an alternative to like candidate in the 2024 election, and everybody's like, just don't do this.
Yeah, this is gonna work.
Like, we're gonna unite everybody with it, and then there's like, oh, we can't do that because everybody fucking hates each other. Right. And they're like, we couldn't find a guy that everybody liked.
Well, but also it's like, you know what, we're gonna do things differently. This party will decide based on what billionaires think.
Yeah.
Lindsay Havens from Billboard credited Dua Lipa as being the protagonist in disco's revival in 2020 through her song Don't Start Now. What do you think about that?
Don't Start Now?
Yeah. But she was credited as being the protagonist in disco's revival. Maybe I just like disco. Maybe that's what's going on here.
Hey man, disco sucks, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever hear Dave Grohl talk about like
what makes something like post disco versus new disco?
That's the thing. Like post disco implies that like it's an evolution from it.
Yeah.
Right. Where I don't know.
Anyway, you were gonna say about
Dave Grohl. He's like, when I was playing in Nirvana, like I was just doing like everybody thought I was a really innovative drummer there. I was just doing disco beats. It's like. No, you were just doing rock beats.
Yeah.
He was just saying that to impress Pharrell.
Yeah. I mean, and like, I think, like, I always got the impression people were more, I don't know, it wasn't necessarily like what he was choosing to play. It was like how he was playing it that people enjoyed.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody was like, oh, wow, that's like a really, I wouldn't have thought to play.
He had some like cool,
that.
Like, patterns and stuff.
Do you ever do that one? Yeah. That was pretty good. You hear that in a song? You hear that before a song starts? Hang on. It's going to be a good song. Tim, this is what I wanted to talk about, Tim. I have
The
another...
No Labels Party, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
The chairman was Joe Lieberman, famous dead man.
Oh, so yeah, how are they going to run?
Yeah, what are they going to run a dead man for president?
Well, depending on who you ask, they already are.
All right.
Tim, let me tell you about another thing I like about Dua Lipa. Well, and this is going to be confusing to you, but at the 2018 Brit Award, she played her song. She played one of her songs, and it's called New Rules. But I know what you're thinking. It doesn't go. No, it's not. It's not the Bill Maher New Rules theme
You sure?
song. You know what, Tim? I'm not 100% sure. No, I did go and listen to it, and it's not. I thought maybe. Oh, like
but does
maybe
each verse start with "New Rule"?
New rule.
If you're gonna tell me, that I can't attack trans people,
then I don't.
then you have to admit to yourself that you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, I can't even.
Bill Maher's cool. I like him.
Yeah. I was struggling to come up with a way to make fun of him, and I was like, no, that was smart and funny. And oh no, that was smart and funny the time he said that. It just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Club Random.
You never my know podcast is like happen. So random.
But anyway,
did he smoke weed when Jerry Seinfeld went on Club Random?
That's a good question because there was a story about how Steve-O was going to go on his show, and Steve-O, has had a lot of problems with drugs and is clean. And
he's sober now, and he said, like, hey, if I come on your show...
Yeah, can we not hotbox in the little studio?
Can you not smoke weed?
Yeah, triggering to me, because then I'll want weed, and then once I want weed, I'll want pills, and then once I,
Well, out of respect for a sober person, if they ask you not to do drugs around them... Yeah. I don't know.
Especially in, like, a small place like that and everything, and, he said no.
He's like, don't do it.
I mean, in fairness, like, is Steve-O that huge of a get nowadays? Like, or was it kind of like Bill Maher was like, look, I was gonna have this guy on as a favor, but now he wants me to change my whole thing.
No, that's what's so random about the club, Tom.
Well, and I guess the whole thing is that it's like, oh, I get stoned during the show. And a lot of times my guests aren't interested in joining me. Also, I've seen clips of his shows. It's insane for a huge weed head how quickly he gets stoned.
With no tolerance.
You would think he has a huge tolerance, but he's immediately saying the dumbest shit, even dumber than his regular show. Anyway,
it
Tim.
looks like I'm watching the Jerry Seinfeld one right now. It looks like he's holding it in an unlit joint.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we're 53 minutes in.
Oh,
I see no smoke.
Wow. Well, that's even. I feel like that calls even more attention to it if he's just holding the joint the whole episode.
At minute and 4, he's no longer holding anything.
Huh. Jerry said,
fixing his sock.
Put that thing down. What's the deal with that?
Well, he'll roll over for Seinfeld, but not for Steve-O.
Oh, I guess we see how Hollywood works. I guess we know who's the bigger man on the totem pole. Anyway, she was playing the song New Rules at the 2018 Brit Awards.
You're singing California Love, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I think you meant to go dun 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 dun.
Anyway, so at this time, she was not a good dancer, Dua Lipa. So during these 2018 awards, she did like some like objectively bad dancing during, her big performance. And the top comment was somebody said, "I love her lack of energy. Go girl, give us nothing." And she was doing this dance that I think is now called the pencil sharpener. where look, the listener at home is not going to be able to see
I'll
this, but I'll do it
describe
for
it,
Tim.
yeah.
Hold on, I'll even move the mic a little bit.
Okay. Tom's
So I can
standing
stand
up.
up.
Now
It's
you-
like this.
Okay. Okay, you have your hands in fists, balled up into fists, at your sides.
Uh-huh.
You're rotating your hips.
Why am I still doing it like
Because I want to see. I had to. You're rotating your hips half-heartedly back and forth, and moving your arms like very, very slightly forwards and backwards,
Yeah, that's about it.
with a blank look on your face.
Yeah, which is what she had. It was just the weirdest.
You know what? I appreciate. Did she ever comment on that? Or did you not look it up because that would be construed as lore?
No, Tim, she has good lore too. The little lore she has is good. Lipa credited this criticism as motivation to improve her stage presence.
Yeah, cool. Like, but also, can we get past like if she's making banger front to back albums and they sound good and they're making people happy, why does everybody also have to dance too?
Because that's part of being a pop star.
Yeah, but maybe she can just be like a musician
Well,
and not a pop
so
star.
she
right? Why does she have to? Why do we have to put her in that box, man? I'm all about no labels. Did you know in 2024, No Labels was sued by Douglas Durst?
Oh, Bob's brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the brother of the Jinx.
Yeah.
Sued No Labels.
For what?
The Durst family says it has donated to No Labels since 2016 when the group's messaging focused on bipartisan policy legislation, but contend that No Labels' presidential ambitions are a breach of their donors' trust.
All right. Well, they should don't donate money again, I guess. I don't know. Can you be like, hey, that money we donated, we want it back?
No.
Yeah. But anyway, so Dua Lipa, she got a new choreographer, and like she still doesn't dance that much. She kind of like struts a lot.
I don't think anybody should have to dance on stage.
No.
I'm
Well,
not interested in watching anybody dance.
Here's what she does now.
But this is kind of fucked up that she's living a lie, that she's singing so much about being on the dance floor and she doesn't even know how to goddamn dance.
I think, no, that speaks even more to like, look, she doesn't even know how to dance. She just likes it. You know? She's dancing.
She doesn't
like
have to
nobody's
live.
watching.
She doesn't have to live the songs.
Well, there's a difference between dancing on the dance floor and dancing on stage during
That's
an award
true,
show.
yeah.
So what I've noticed she does nowadays, which I think is great, is she struts a lot of just like sexy strutting, and then she has like very good back. She's very good and very. This is another thing I like about her. She's very like butch backup dancers,
Okay.
like beefy guys. Like kind of husky dancers. I like
All
it.
right, yeah.
But anyway.
Do you aspire to be a husky man, Dua Lipa background?
I'm like, look at these guys. Maybe I could get in there.
Get you the cream and the clear.
Yeah. She does like the strutting. They're all very good dancers. And here's what somebody told her. Look, you don't have to do what they're doing. You have to hit certain points when they do, and then it will look like you were doing that the whole time too.
Right.
But like you're singing, they're doing and then they like hit a pose. You hit that pose with them. Now they're off. They're doing new dances, and you're like, and now I'm singing, and I'm
she's
singing,
like strutting and stuff.
and
yeah.
I'm strutting, and then they turn, and I hit that turn with them, and it's like, wow, look at that. That's all people want,
Yeah.
right?
Let me ask you this: is she? You get the sense she's actually singing on stage?
Yeah, I get the impression that like I don't think she's like she's not a Pavarotti or
Who is? Who's an Andre Bocelli?
or Domingo or the other guy. But I think she actually is like a pretty good singer.
Yeah,
on her
but
own.
what I'm asking is she in these performances?
Yeah. It seems like it.
Okay.
And
'Cause,
I-
like,
and I
the
think I read
dancing
something-
aspect of it is like, look, if you're gonna do the hardcore dancing,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not.
it's going to be
You can't.
very hard.
It's not feasible to actually
Right.
do that.
It's going to sound like this. That's everything.
So like, if she's lip syncing,
right.
like, all right, then do the dances.
Right.
But like, if it's there's no shame in number one just being like, I'm gonna sing.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's not up there fucking like
dancing her heart out.
doing the Roger Rabbit while she's trying to sing. Are kids still doing the Roger Rabbit these days?
Unknown, Tim. Completely. That information's impossible.
By the way, what's going on with Roger Rabbit?
Dua Lipa also.
Dua Lipa.
Is occasionally referred to affectionately by fans as Dula Peep, which originated as a mispronunciation by American talk show host Wendy Williams in 2018. Since then, she has positively embraced the nickname. So there you go again. Somebody screwed her name up and she went, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I go by that name now too. I'm Dula Peep as well.
Hey, that's great songwriter and SEO maven.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to hit dulapeep.com. I think I mentioned before that she dates models.
Oh, I mean...
That's cool, right?
I wish she'd date regular schlubs, though. Middle-aged.
Middle-aged men already in committed relationships. No, that was another thing I looked up, or it was in her like personal section in her Wikipedia. So I was like, oh boy, I bet she's dated like some real losers. It's like, nah, she dates like hot.
Why would you think she's dated real losers?
No, you know what I mean. Like, oh, she like dated Sean Penn last year or something like that.
What the hell? First of all, you would celebrate if she dated David Blaine, you were saying earlier, and Bill Maher.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you wanted to avoid the lore. Now you're looking up her boyfriend.
Well, because I had to. It was in the personal section. I was like, all right, I'm trying to avoid the lore, but we're doing an episode about her. I got to see.
I'm not going to look up her biggest song, but I will look up.
Well, there's not enough time to listen
she's...
to all of her stuff. I want to see who she's dating. She's dating.
Learn anything from the Randy Newman episode? I guess
hot
you're not
going
to listen to some music for a music episode.
She's got a newsletter.
Okay. Oh. Ooh.
Well, no, Tim, listen, not about her. It's called Service 95, and it's an editorial platform founded by Dua Lipa. Mm-hmm. Has a weekly newsletter.
Is that because she was born in freaking 1995?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Tom,
newsletter?
This lady's younger than Windows 95. Am I right?
We don't know what month each came out.
Well, it surely was developed before.
Yeah, it's true. She's definitely younger than the beta version. Or website, weekly newsletter, or podcast, and a book club. I feel like that's also unique for a pop artist to have a book club.
Book club. What books is she reading?
Sex by Madonna. She's
her new album's called Radical Optimism.
Yeah.
Yes.
See? And Tim, I'll end on the most amazing fact I know about Dua Lipa. She now has a wax model at Madame Tussauds in Times Square. That's when I said Ripley's competition.
They're not a they're not a wax museum though.
They got wax figures in there.
Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Pitchfork says about radical optimism?
Unless it's good, I don't care.
Dua Lipa's star power sounds muffled on her much-anticipated third album, which has many interesting ideas for songs and a surprisingly low hit rate.
Well, listen to those songs more, and maybe the ideas will come through. Takes 6 months to make one of those wax dummies. Does that surprise you, or is that about what you thought it would take?
You know what? I have no idea.
Yeah, 6 months.
That's probably longer than I would expect.
Yeah, right?
Because like you figure like they probably get like a human shaped.
Yeah, that's all right. We got like a blank.
They're not reinventing the wheel the whole time.
Yeah, but apparently they put all the hairs in individually and everything. It takes forever.
What books have they read in the book club though?
Well,
Dua's monthly read. Swimming in the Dark.
Is that the book?
Yeah, that's one of them.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can find our social media there, or links to our Discord and our subreddit. You can also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/complete guide for Books the Podcast, a weekly podcast about books, the only one, in fact. And this week I am continuing to read My Side of the Mountain by Gene Craighead George, about a boy.
We've been talking about it for years.
Who runs away. We've been talking about it, but now it's here. Patreon.com/complete guide. You can listen to that and all the back episodes of Books the Podcast as well. There's quite a library there, if I do say so myself. Not to step on Dua Lipa's book club, but we've been doing ours for longer.
Also, we want to start, patreon.com/complete guide. Do that. No, we want to start doing more Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems again.
Yeah, but you started talking like somebody threw a cold bucket of water on you.
Yeah. The complete guide to everything at gmail.com. Email us.
Yeah, we do want to start doing...
I haven't looked at that inbox in forever.
I have, and...
Has anything of note come in?
The inbox is a mess, to be honest with you. We have too many notifications from things.
Yeah.
And it gets full of stuff, so I can't even find stuff. But
every time someone sends us a death threat, it's like, oh, this needs your attention.
Yeah, and it's like, sorry, I'm just getting to this death threat now. It got lost in my inbox. But yeah.
Let's clean it all out. Let's delete everything.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, we're starting our inbox. We're at inbox 0. Get in there. The complete guide to everything at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Send us whatever.
Well, send us a problem.
Send us a problem. Send us praise.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do a mailbag.
No feedback, please.
Well, let's do a mailbag, too.
A meet and greet.
A meet and greet.
We'll do an email meet and greet. Yeah, we'll do a mailbag. All right. Well, you heard Tim. The complete guide to everything at gmail.com. Tim, have I sold you on Dua Lipa?
I'm going to go listen to that, the song that...
From the supermarket.
Yeah, Levitating.
Yeah.
I'll listen to the new... I'm going to listen to Future Nostalgia first.
Oh, yeah.
Because that seems to be like the consensus of
I think that was the one that kind of blew up.
This is her opus, yeah.
I got to listen to that one,
It features the song Levitating on it, Tom.
Yeah, about magicians, presumably.
David Blaine's first special, Street Magic.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.